Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, it's going to be a 5.111 replay because Blizzard broke the ability to load replays from 5.12 with the latest update. Hooray! That is a sarcastic hooray. So, bottom right on Babylon from GSL Season 3 from 2023, it's going to be Scarlett. In the top left, it's going to be SOS. Man, I am so upset about them breaking the ability to load replays from the previous patch. Last time they did that, they couldn't fix it, or they didn't want to fix it, or the StarCraft intern could not fix it. Holy smokes. So, extractor tricking. Here is Scarlett. Very interesting. And it was going to be, it's a 14 hatch here into a extractor tricked 15 supply. SOS is like, all right, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. And what we're doing is weird stuff. And then we get a pool. There you go, 15 supply pool with the extractor trick. Very fancy. And we'll see when gas is happening here. That's half of what this probe is doing, is seeing when is gas being taken. Because if there is no gas, that means no speedlings, it means no roaches, it means SOS can probably honestly expand maybe twice. If it just slow links here, if Scarlett's going for some kind of a fast third hatch. Okay, there's the gas going down here at about 130. Probe's still around to see. Are we going to throw down a roach warren? What are we doing with this gas, Scarlett? That's the question of the day. But yeah, I don't know if you've been around long enough in the StarCraft 2 scene to remember the last time they did this. I mean, and the annoying thing is it totally killed the cheese compilation that I was going to cast. I mean, I guess in hindsight, I maybe shouldn't have waited until the day before I was going to post the cheese compilation to cast the cheese compilation, but I just had no indication that they were going to release this patch on that day and break the capabilities of loading any of the replays I have from submitted cheese for that cheese comp. It sucks. And again, I don't know if they can fix it. I tweeted at Blizzard customer support for the Americas, and they haven't responded. I don't know. It's just, again, it's the StarCraft intern. Microsoft has acquired Blizzard, but I don't necessarily think they've done anything to really improve the situation of the technical staff involved with the game, and just makes me sad. All right, SOS is stargating first. There's really... I don't think there's going to be anything too weird here in this ZVP. I feel like both these players are probably about the same level on a Ligulac, especially at the time that this was played. So not really worrying about somebody getting stomped here necessarily, right? Ooh, it's a Void Ray opening. It's not even an Oracle from SOS. Here to kill Overlords, this one in particular. Maybe this one too, who knows? Overlords are now marked for death as a Void Ray is on the way. SOS is just like, I don't care what weird shenanigans you're doing, Scarlett. I'm going one gate expand. Everything is going to be very normal for me. Warp gate's on the way, couple of depths. Maybe send those out for scouting purposes here. Get a third Nexus at the same time. Overlord comes in for the scout. I love it when the Void Ray beam is like right on top of the Void Ray and it just kind of starts spurting everywhere. Very funny. Oracle on the follow-up from SOS here. All right, creep spread looking fantastic. Overlord's fleeing from the presence of this Void Ray as it starts moving across the map, hunting desperately. Third base from Scarlett. Pop, and I like this. 4 minutes. Third base. Fantastic. Creep Tumor dies to the Void Ray. Anything else going to go down to this Void Ray? I don't know, but holy Fleet Beacon Batman. Second Stargate. Fleet SOS is just going right into carriers? Straight up? Speedlings are like, do you have a third base? No, this is kind of weird, actually. I don't feel good about this. What are you doing? Is it a DT rush? I'm concerned that Scarlett doesn't have any spores at the natural base or the third base. There is one, however, in the main, so I can't complain too much, I guess. Yeah, Link's try to pop it and see what's going on. Adepts are like, no, you're not. Roach Warren coming in. Roach Warren is kind of the wrong answer to Carriers at 4 minutes and 50 seconds, my friends. That is some fast carrier play here. All right, Scarlett, what you got? You got 3 bases, saturated, 57 drones. Got a bunch of gas. You're now saturating your second and third geysers. Still haven't taken this one inside your main for reasons I don't understand. And carriers are on the way. Dude, SOS, you madman. I kind of like it. I'm kind of on board with this whole thing. Hey, there's a third base coming in at about 5:30, but that was definitely delayed to get these carriers out, right? So this is where a bajillion lings show up. There's 1 adept. That doesn't seem like enough, but now the carriers have made themselves known, and the carriers can chew through Zerglings pretty quickly, man. Just the sheer damage output here of these carriers and those interceptors against lings with no upgrades. Even when the lings have upgrades, let's be honest, carriers shred through them like butter. All right, so now we know what we're dealing with. Quick, more queens. 3 more queens being popped up, and a 4th base from Scarlett coming in because he couldn't do anything about the 3rd base of SOS, or she couldn't do anything about the 3rd base of SOS. Overlord picked off. Supply blocking Scarlett? No, but uncomfortably close to that. I love just sending the carriers out, just being like, la 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 la. Let's see what we find. You don't have any corruptors out is impossible. Unless you, like, went Spire blind. Okay, so Queen anti-air is nuts. Like, Queen ability to kill interceptors is actually kind of crazy good. Look at this. Transfuses helping. Yeah, a 2-carrier army is honestly nothing to be worried about, except for the fact that there are probably more carriers on the way, except, I don't know, 4. Maybe we're just stopping at 4? It would be weird to stop at 4, SOS, but I trust your instincts better than mine. I'd keep making carriers for all time and all eternity. Spores getting planted on the edge of the creep here to help assist with killing these interceptors. Lings rolling into the 3rd base. No. Adepts, more adepts, and now a shield battery's there. That's not happening. This is crazy. This is an absolutely nuts game. All right, man. SOS is like, yo, let's do this thing. And the queens are like, transfuse. Transfuse, you're like, your life depends upon it, because it does. 10 corruptors are being produced at the same time here. Let's go. Let's make 10 corruptors. With the queen support, although the queens are getting whittled down. 1's down, 2's down, 3 queens are down. This is not looking great. Another queen dies, another queen dies. The queen's death count is skyrocketing, but one of the carriers goes down for like 6 queens, man. This one pulls back, and all the queens are dead. Oh, the queen count is now 0. And now the adepts come rolling in, and the corruptors are like, well, we can kill these carriers. Oh, 2 of the carriers die before they can actually recall out of there. And now there are roaches to deal with the adepts on some level anyway. This is nuts. Holy smokes, the adept follow-up. No more carriers being produced. There's 1 of them. That's it. Roaches just trying to keep up. These adepts, they've got resonating glaives. It's a carrier resonating glaive adept attack. Who does this? SOS, you madman. Corruptors sniping the final carrier, but can't do anything about that 3rd base because there are now some stalkers there. This is crazy. The worker count is not great from Scarlett. She has lost 25 drones, but army value is 78 to 38. It's a big army advantage here for Scarlett. Glial Reconstitution would help a lot right now, but it's not quite there yet. But shading directly on top of roaches, not something you want to do. So this is a tough spot for Scarlett, except for the fact that she still has 4 bases. She's replacing drones like a crazy person, like you need to do in the situation. It is, I mean, it's not like an insult. Just, you need to do it, man. Yeah, so just firing up more and more drones here, and now back up to 62 workers, and we're good. We're going to try to caustic spray down this main nexus, maybe? No. Adept, there is still an adept shading around somewhere. Is that it? Are all the adepts dead? All the adepts are home. That's all. They're not all dead, but some of them are home. Okay, so it was a carrier void ray attack. Carrier void ray attack, man. Into resonating glaive adept follow-up. This is a weird game. SOS, 4th base coming in. I can honestly say I don't think I've ever seen that before. One behind Dark Shrine. It's SOS going for that DT Shrine. But yeah, while I appreciate that StarCraft is still getting balance patches and quality of life stuff in 2024, which is, come on, how many games are getting this kind of support? 12, when was Wings of Liberty 11 or 10? Anyway, 10 plus years after the game came out. How many games get that? Not very many. And sure, we make jokes about there's only one StarCraft intern out there doing this stuff. And maybe there is. Maybe there's really only one person on StarCraft 2 these days. And they're doing a great job for being a single person. But like, if we could avoid breaking replays with an update, that'd be fantastic. It would make me so happy. Scarlett, Roach Ravagering, trying to bust up into this third base. This is actually looking pretty intimidating. Honestly, it is. Yeah, like really bad actually for SOS. This is a lot of Roach Ravagers. 76 workers for Scarlett. DTs! DTs! Where's the Overseer? Why is it running away? Oh my gosh, the DTs are totally saving the day here. Corruptor is trying to do stuff over here. I mean, there's an angle to Caustic Spray if you want. Would not be too bad. Stalkers running around. They got Blink. They own the joint here, but Roach Ravager are going to trade out pretty well. Stalkers trying to find some Overlords to kill. Supply block maybe, but Scarlett's now up 184 to 118 supply. So I don't think SOS's gamble has really paid off here, man. The carrier opening, the queens dealt with it. Sure, all the queens died, but guess what we can do? We can make more queens. Okay, there's 2 queens now. Scarlett says, who needs queens? I don't need a lot of larvae. I'm going Roach Ravager. I have a bunch of lings too, but ignore that for the time being. I love adding Archons into the mix here. They'll tear through these lings pretty effectively. Charge lots too, actually. Charge lots do well against these lings, especially without upgrades. Chaos in display here, though. Trying to kite back, and suddenly, my gosh, this game is nuts. Who cares if this is from 2 patches ago? I certainly don't. This is amazing. SOS fighting back. Down 108 to 30 army supply, but Protoss units are tanky, and a lot of the army supply for Scarlett and Corruptors that aren't really doing anything right now. So maybe that's helping SOS stay alive here a little bit. This 4th base from SOS coming in. Oh, I must have gotten Caustic sprayed down. Okay, so they got it. The Corruptors got that Nexus. My brain's like, oh yes, of course, taking this base. No, it was there last time you looked at it, Falcon. It was. Corruptor still trying to find stuff. Forcing a cancel on that 4th base. That's a big win for Scarlett. Killing it, not canceling it. SOS does not have the money to replace. That means it was a good win. We're just going to bring some DTs maybe into the main base. Except no, because there is a Spine and a Spore and a bunch of Queens here. So the Spore Spine combo. Pretty good stuff if you're worried about DTs. As you should be. Going into Greater Spire. Why not? Why not go into Greater Spire? This game has been pretty nuts thus far. Adrenal Gland on the way. +1 melee attack coming in. Roaches, Banes, Ravagers. Love this expansion down this way from Scarlett, too. I mean, look, numbers-wise, look at the supply. 198 to 127 is just not a really tenable position for any Protoss player to be in. You know, force fields are good, but Corrosive Vials, boo-boo! See you later, force fields. It is just a handful of Stalkers here. I don't know. Sentry's getting wiped out. Connections, Banelings onto the Stalkers. Not ideal, but you'll take it at this stage. Shield Battery overcharge pop, maybe. Maybe not. This 4th base is in an immense amount of trouble. Trying to Caustic Spray down this Nexus, and no. Doesn't matter. Scarlett gets the win. Just overwhelming at this 4th base. SOS knows without the 4th base, he's toast. And the Zerg player gets the win here in a pretty nice back and forth, I gotta say. Man. That was amazing. That was one heck of a back and forth, crazy, weird ZVP with the carrier opening into Resonating Glaive Adepts, which did kill a ton of drones. 34 drones have died today, which is a pretty big number in 14 minutes. But, yeah, Scarlett's able to rebuild those workers pretty quickly, despite having lost every one of her queens, which is just an impressive display in and of itself. But, you know, having 4 bases kind of helps in that situation. And then SOS almost dies to a big Roach Ravager attack, but gets DTs out and buys some more time. And just needed some splash damage, right? The DTs are great, but I would have loved to see some disruptors against these units. Maybe some Colossus would have been nice. A little bit of Storm would have been very cool. But instead, kind of just went for single target damage stuff. Archons are technically splash, but against Roach Ravager, not so much. It's hard for them to close in enough to get splash damage on Roaches and Ravagers, you know. Don't ya know. So Adrenal was on the way. More Roaches were coming in. Scarlett had a plan to go Broodlords here. Was it going to work out? Who knows? All right. So GG. Resources lost here. 18,000 for SOS, 16,000 for Scarlett. Never good to have more resources lost than your Zerg opponent. 2 Nexuses going down is kind of a big part of that. The 4 carriers died pretty much in exchange for like 8 or 10 queens, which your mileage may vary on that. Was that good enough? Was that bad? I don't know. Stop. But just look at all this single target damage stuff. Adepts, Stalkers, Zealots, Sentries. Like no splash damage at all. And Scarlett's just like, Roach, Ravager, Corruptor, Bane. We'll do this. We'll make this thing happen. And she did. That was a really impressive win there in GSL qualifiers. Okay, so that was a ton of fun, but that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void in an old patch because, again, Blizzard killed the ability to load replays from the previous patch. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.